Hello and welcome to Adobe Live. Hang on.
We've got gremlin. How can we have gremlins?
Oh, I can hear myself on something. Hang on. Okay, we've had a few technical issues, but we're here and we're live, and I am joined by the most amazing Tony Harmer. I can't believe we're live streaming again. Um,
Since 10 minutes ago.
yeah, we've kind of done a whole bit, but we're gonna do it again for you
Yeah.
guys. But yeah, I can't believe that we haven't streamed together since March, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So it's really nice to be back together on the live stream. We've got some exciting stuff that we're going to be going through today. We are going to be looking at Adobe Express, and there's lots of really cool new features in the beta, which we're going to be exploring. We're going to be here over the next 4 weeks. So you've got 4 Mondays of Liz and Tony, which I hope you're excited about. We'll be here every 12 p.m. for 45 minutes. And today, Tony is going to be showing us some exciting interop
Ooh.
activities. I think that's how you say it, isn't it?
I actually say interoperation, but then again, I is
Oh,
like posh like and
interoperation. Sorry.
interoperation. No,
Um,
interop is so much easier to say.
Let's just say hello to everybody in the chat. We've got lots of people joining us. Hi, Claudie. Nice to see you. We've got Tim, Caroline, Sandrine, Oliver, Angus, Uma, all the good people here today. And yes, now we are live. So yeah, Angus says, and it starts with a giggle. I mean, to be honest, when me and Tony are hanging out, it's just one long constant giggle,
I have
basically.
zero clue. Zero clue. But that's why we giggle.
That
It's
is why we
yeah,
giggle.
yeah. It's a thing. Anyway, Liz, it is so good to be here. So I'm just going to jump across then into Adobe Express. Here we are, right? And we've got this. So I'm in the beta as well. That's important to note just there.
Yes.
And we've got this area here. Start from your content just there, like so. You can see that we've got all of that good stuff. So we can start with PSD files and AI files and more. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now I'm going to jump into Photoshop here. And I've got this file that I made at an earlier point.
Nice.
Now I'm just
Yeah,
going to
fun.
try and see if I could, because I made a couple of quick changes here. And I'm just going to see if I can try and just, oops, no, it looks like no. So let me just see if I can revert this file back to its original state. That will help me. And it says no, because I've actually worked on it, but there you go, not to worry. Okay, so we've got this file just to show you. It's got a few layers, got a text layer here. Okay, and here also it's got a little group down here, which is made of a text layer and a shape. And then just here, okay, it's got this highlight. I'm just going to turn off that history panel. We don't need that. And that's the headline here. And the reason that is the way it is as an image is because it's got layer effects on it. So essentially, the words
Mm.
summer and party were warped text in Photoshop, grouped into a layer, and then they had layer effects, okay, piled on top of them. And Express doesn't understand those just yet, right? They sort of live in Photoshop. So they've been rasterized just there, okay. And that's what we're going to open up. I'm going to just save that just to make sure. Whoops-a-daisy. Why is that? Oh, right. Okay. So I've created a new version. That's what I've done. I've created a duplicate. In that case, hold on just 1 second. Sorry for the brief interruption in service just there. I can go back to the original and I can probably just go back to an earlier state. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, in fact, I can. I can get back to that. Now you can see the actual layer effects on there. Like that. There you are. So you've got this headline layer group, and in the layer group there's the two text layers just there. And all I'm going to do to make sure that this is rasterized is hold down the command key and add a new layer underneath just there, or it should go underneath. It doesn't appear to have gone quite my way there. Select those two layers, and then I'm just going to do command E just to merge those as before.
And so
Okay,
if you didn't rasterize it, it would take the type over and it'd be live type, but it
it
just
would.
wouldn't have the effects on it,
wouldn't
right?
wouldn't have the same appearance. It would have none of
Perfect.
the lines around it. It wouldn't be see-through in the way it is just now. But that's
Hmm.
the great thing. It would be editable text. But you'll see that
Yeah.
with the other text anyway. So if we go back to Express, and I'm going to do start from my content here and navigate to this PSD. There it is, and hit
Nice.
open like so. It has to do a bit of magic on it, so it will go ahead and look at it and say, "Oh, you've got layers. What sort of layers you got?" And then
I love that it tells you what it's doing, though. You know, like the little, it sort of scrolls through. It's like, I'm evaluating. Now I'm converting.
Do you know, I think I got this habit from back in the old days. See, it's done, already done. I think I got the habit back in the old days. Yeah, so it's just building that out for me now. Okay, or for us. Just move this up a little bit. I got it because things used to take so long. You'd just get little messages inside of a dialogue box that would say, "I'm doing this now, I'm doing this now." So I'd actually give them, it's a trait, I'd give them personalities. I'd actually say,
amazing. It's got its own voice.
Yeah, there you go.
The Adobe Express voice.
There you go. So this has come in as an image because it doesn't know what to do with it, whereas underneath it, Fantastico, yeah, that is editable text. You can see if we wanted to change the typeface associated with that, and it makes us, of course, some suggestions at the top here, and we can view more if we want to, so we could change that. I don't feel the need to change that one just at the minute, though. So, but just underneath that, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to try not to zoom in too aggressively because I use a trackpad and it's quite sensitive, unlike me. So we've got some text just there. Let me just move that out of the way a second and then just undo. Okay, and then we've got the rectangle behind it. So it doesn't understand a layer group either at the moment, but in the fullness of time, who knows? Now, I was never keen on this rectangle anyway. I didn't, I should have made it less opaque in the first place, but there we are. So we could do that if I wanted to keep it. But do you know what, Liz? I don't want to keep it. Yeah, delete it. Let's just
delete it.
Yeah, let's just make it go. Let's make it go away. Go away. But I do still want this inner rectangle, but I want the rectangle to be slightly different. And also, I'm quite mad for seeing some of this stuff come through in the background. So I have that selected. I'm just going to scroll down. Don't you think it's great, by the way, that everything's on one side now? You don't have to jump from side to side of the screen. It's really good. I'm going to go to shape and let's be super, super great and just choose something, I don't know, like a rectangle or something like that. That would be pretty good, I think.
Or the pill one, I quite like.
This, that's actually quite, let's do that. Yes, and then if we want to edit it, so if we wanted to change the colour, I'm not too worried about the colour just here, just at the minute. I'm going to swap them over, though, like so. Ooh, that's good.
Ooh, nice, yeah.
Now, I'm going to drop down the opacity of the shape. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger as well. Yeah, that's much better. I think that houses that nicely.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to hit this, cut out text. Boom.
Nice.
There we go. So we see that through.
That is so good.
It is good. And then we can just model that the way we want it. So I can change. It's just not as as transparent as it was. There we go. And let's change the view back to 100%. I nearly went for 10 just then. There we go. There it is in big. Let's go there. And we can, of course, zoom to fit all if we want to. And you can see all the keyboard shortcuts in there too. Fabulous. However, this image, want to change it. I think I'm not kind of crazy for that image anymore. I might get rid of it.
You're over it.
I'm over it. Yeah, I'm so over the ice cream. Yeah. So
okay, so you're going to find... Ooh.
No, I've just got rid of it. Ooh. No, it's because I removed the background from there. I just thought it'd be fun to play with. Right, let's go ahead and find... I want to find a summer gradient. I wonder if I type summer gradient in there, I get something. Let's have a look. What do you know?
I mean, who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it? Oh, dear. Oh, that's cool.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. This is going to totally change the vibe.
It is. Yeah, let's do that. And let's set that as the page background. Wow. Now that's starting to really, really change. I think I'm going to bring that down a bit. In fact, I'm going to bring all of this stuff down a bit. Just here. Let's bring that down away like so. Let's take this back up to maybe the top. Maybe not.
Oh, put it at maybe try it at the top, but have it in the pink, like the summer party. So you still have the see-through, but instead of
pink.
White. Yeah,
I love.
I know you love a bit of. I know you love a bit of magenta.
I do. It's true. Now, yeah, I do. It's true. And strangely enough, that's one of my fave colours that's in there already. Now I'm going to just take that opacity down, maybe just a tad more. Yeah, let's mess with this. I still think it needs something else though.
Yeah, it's a bit top heavy now, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, you should ignore my
No. It's all
My
good. It's all
tips.
good. But what I think I do want to do, is just change the focus just a little bit on this. And I don't know why I'm trying to save that. And it's saving automatically. I'm going to pop back to Photoshop. I'm actually going to make another file. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. What size shall I do another file at? So I'm just going to go for 2000 pixel grid. That'll be quite good, I think, maybe. Or mind you, we're live, so I might do it something slightly smaller. I'll choose something in a minute. Let's go for 1080p. Let's do that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new layer in here. Then I'm going to get my gradient tool, and I'm going to go to my gradients here. All right. Okay. And let me just make this. Folders are nice, but they're I just want to see if I've got anything. There used to be, in fact, I could load them up from somewhere else, but there used to be neutral density gradients. But what I'm going to do is make my own gradient here just very quickly. So I'm just going to use black. Let's not make it black. Let's change that down to maybe dark grey, like so. Yeah, down to nothing, like that. I'm going to start just outside there, so it's nice and soft. Sweet. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm then going to go to my libraries. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, this as a graphic. Okay, so there it is.
This is so clever.
Well, we've got my gradient there now, like so. Let's go back to Adobe Express. Then let's go to my stuff. Let's go to brands and libraries, and let's find our little library, which is just here. There we go. Adobe Express, Liz and Tony. There's my graphic. I'm going to drag that in like so.
It's just such a game changer.
Yeah, because you can just go ahead and tone it like that. Now, of course, it's not right in the layer stacking order, so I'm just going to pull that down so it's not interfering with everything else. But because I made it big enough to work, I mean, here I could perhaps have done something that was slightly lighter, but do you know what? Because this is where it really is connected to Creative Cloud. So let's just say I thought, do you know what? I want to change that gradient. I'm going to go for my gradient tool. Now, new gradients, of course, in Photoshop, they can be changed like so. So I'm going to make this white to transparent. Let's turn off this layer underneath. Ooh. Like that. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the library asset. Let's pull that in like so. There we go. And you can see how that's working, hopefully, across the checkerboard. I'm then going to close that and save it. So that updates in the library. You can see that?
Yeah.
Let's pop back to Adobe Express. And it says, oh, your linked assets have been changed. Boom.
So good.
Update. And it will go ahead and update it.
There's a lot of love for this in the chat. We've got an ooh yes from Sandrine, Fantastico from Angus. So that is so good.
Fantastico. Best said in a northern accent. Fantastico. Right. And you can see how that can change. Right. There's loads of other things I could do. That. Now, the reason that looks a bit strange, do you know what? Let's change it. Because some of you might be thinking it looks a bit dark. Just there. Well, there's the reason. I've explained this before, actually, on Adobe Live itself. That's because it's going from white at 100% opacity to grey, at 0% opacity. So if I double click that and make that white, then it's not trying to calculate that blend in between. Now remember, I'm doing this on the file, so I just need to go and repeat that now on the library asset.
Library asset, yeah.
And let's change that like so. There we are, done. Close that. Yeah, save it. So the library then gets that new information, goes, cool, I know what to do with that, thanks very much. Meanwhile, back in Adobe X, it's this fast.
It's just that easy, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Update your asset, nice.
It. You've got that really quickly. And there's whole loads of different things you could build out to work with. That's exciting and very, really very live. Right, shall we look at another file type?
Yes, let's. Yeah. So we've done Photoshop.
Yeah, we've done Photoshop. Well, meanwhile, back in Adobe Illustrator, I made this file. I think I was tired. No, I made this file because I thought it would be fun to play with, because I just want to do something different with this. So it's nice and simple. It's got individual words just here, which we can change if we want to. So it's important to note those. The text here isn't text. It's been outlined. And in fact, the shape that it is connected to is a compound shape. Just there.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so that's why I've built it this way. I just want to explain those things. Also, these things extend beyond the bounds of the canvas. Alrighty then. Let's go back to Express and let's click here and let's open up that file. And again, it starts doing its conversion magic.
It's evaluating.
There it is.
Oh,
complete.
that was quick.
It was quick.
Yeah.
Ooh, now it's built
Ooh.
it. Now, interestingly, right, this is why I pointed out the things were extending beyond the canvas boundary, right, because they are not connected. And this is what it does, right? It actually breaks everything apart. Yeah. Now that is very, very useful. Also, the text here
didn't quite come in. Yeah.
Well,
right.
That's because it's actually been brought in as a single object.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, there was no logical reason for me to break that apart into new words,
separate words.
Yeah, I know. I just did it because if they are connected in that way in a line, it's just reading it. It's intelligence that's reading it, and it's saying, "Yeah, do you know what? I think that should be. I think you meant to do that as a single line, didn't you?" So, and it's quite right.
It's just correcting you.
I know it's hard teaching stuff because you have to put yourself into auto idiot mode sometimes to make it work. I'm just going to resize that just here and get that to something like that. There we go. We could, of course, make this text a bit more jazzy if we wanted to, I guess.
Yeah.
We could go ahead and go to these text effects and let's describe something. Let's say, I don't know, let's say radiant. Not radiant. Oh, my word. This is how
I know, yeah, I wonder, some amazing stuff's going to come out with my spelling mistakes on it to make me laugh.
It will, yeah. It will, for definite. Okay, so it's going ahead and doing that. Of course, I did. Oh, that's it. It's creating some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
With just that single word there. That's and it's just giving us a preview.
That is interesting.
Let's try something more descriptive, right? Let's do fluffy, multicolored. Oh my word. Hair.
Interesting. I like that you went. Obviously, Adobe Express is American, so you've gone with the American spelling.
I have. There we go. Look at that. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's really cool. I think that works nicely with the logo as well.
Yeah, it's got all the right ingredients for that. There, that looks kind of good. Now I wonder. I'm not going to. There's loads of other things I could do. So this here, by the way, just so you know, right, is how much it stays to the contours of the type. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you went tight, it will make it as close to the actual outlines as possible. If you went loose, yeah, it could just go ahead and draw things outside of the shape. This is where you can get interesting trailing effects and so on. I'm going to leave it as it is, and of course, if we want to, we could change the typeface in use just there as well. But I think we could make that a bit chunkier. Let's try that. And then apply it again. Or it should be doing it automatically, actually, but let's have a quick look.
Nice. Oof. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And so
I like the fluffy multicolored hair. It's good.
Me too. There was a time when I had fluffy multicolored hair, Liz, I can tell you, which probably doesn't come as a surprise. Let's do something else with this. And this is the thing that I think is a really good enabler, yeah, for people who are who want to create posts like this, maybe for Instagram or something like that, and have that extra little bit of edge without going anywhere else. And it's in animation. Yeah. So from here, in fact, let's apply some animation to this one as well. Let's do that just so we've got it. Because what I want to do is I'm going to add an animation that specifies how it arrives in the document. Mm-hmm. So let's maybe have it. Oh, I think Bungie is crying out for that one.
It's a good one, yeah.
Let's do Bungie, but let's change the direction. Pong! I love that you can change the number of bounces.
Yeah.
just there.
And it's amazing how much you could, like how much you can customize it.
Yeah.
The animation.
There you go.
Nice.
And
that
how
looks
quickly
good.
it comes in. Then what's it going to do while it's sitting there? So we could do something like that if I go back. And what's it going to do when it leaves? Right. So we can change all of those. We've got those 3 different parameters. Let's go to this one. Let's go ahead and add animation here. Let's do looping. Okay. And this, I think, is definitely going to be spin.
It's asking for a spin, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And so we've got personalities here. Okay, so how it goes.
It's got to be an energetic
Let's
spin.
give it a go. Let's see. That's about as energetic.
Oh,
no.
Wow. That is energetic. Yeah.
It has a real moment. And you can change the intensity. Oh, let's pump it. I wonder what 100 actually does. Oh, look at that. That is too much.
Clarty says that she's working and hearing your voice, and she's just continuously giggling while staring at her screen.
Claudia's well used to my I don't know, nonsense.
And Angus wishes that it had the Tony sound effects with the animation. You should offer to record some.
I should. I'm wondering now if I can. Let's see if we can. I'm just wondering. Let's have a look at the layer stack and see what we've got. Oh, it's actually separated that out onto its own thing. But do you know what? Let's animate this as well.
I was going to say, yeah, you could animate that. Maybe you can animate that in the other direction.
Well, I think a breathe would be really
breathe,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
I do
breathe.
actually really like the breathe one.
It's good. And again, personality just there. Smooth is, well, that's me all over. Let's change the intensity.
Sorry, I laughed too quickly on that one.
Yeah. Noted. Right. Okay. One of the great things, with this as well, not that it really needs it too much here, is we can edit the timeline. And also, if we came down here to this toggle to show layer timing, we can actually change when something comes in.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, of course, it would be helpful now that we're changing that to have it actually appear in a sensible way. So let's just choose fade. Okay, 1 second is just fine. Yeah, so we can bring this back just a little bit. So just a shade in. So if we go back to the beginning and play, there you go. And then we've got that asset. Nice. Pretty much.
It's really good.
Yeah, it works well. And if you need to, you can go ahead and add scenes. So you can add in new stuff from there. And of course, if we wanted to do it for a range of different formats, what we could then do is go, okay, let's do resize.
So one of my favorite updates is this with this resize is that you don't have to do one at a time. So you could click like 5 on there and it'll resize them all at the same time. So good.
It's a shopping list. It is a shopping list. These are the sizes I want. This is what I think. Well, let's go then. Let's try a few of those. Let's try for an Instagram story. And let's try maybe for
a YouTube thumbnail.
We could do a YouTube thumbnail. Yeah, that's a different size. Let's try for, I love education, poster, flyer, video, presentation, infographic, worksheet, graphic organizer. Get on with it.
What's a graphic organizer? Do you know?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna try that out later.
I'm just wondering now if I think I might be in the education. No, I can't be in the educational version of Adobe Express.
No, I think it has all those as well.
But I've got a load of educator stuff in there. That's very learning aids career. These aren't normally in here unless they've added them suddenly, because I do have access to the Adobe Express educators version. So so it's kind of slightly different. Instagram Square Post is where we are right now. So let's choose. Twitter's got a really weird size. Let's find Twitter. Here we go. Yeah, so it's got like this 1200 by 675 pixels, and let's just see if we can get one more wacky one. 600 by 900. No, I think we've got enough to make the point, I think. So all we need to do now, we've got our shopping list completed, so we know what we want, is just hit duplicate and resize. Boom.
Nice.
Suddenly we've got our project. And then, of course, if we thought, I need to make a little bit of an amendment to this one, so you can go into that one. Like so. You can navigate between them using these arrows. It's nice that they add in this little animation that goes on.
Yeah, that's a really nice detail.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are some things here The background, which was there with the gradient, it's understood that. Right, so the problem is with this particular one is that I'd need to get rid, maybe, which I'm doing just now. So I'm just selecting them and deleting all of the additional radials that I put around the original one. And I think that's it for them. Let's just check the layer stack. Oh, no, there's one left. It's always a good thing to do, just pop out, have a look when the layer stack's there.
Look at the layers.
Yeah, everything's as it should be. Yeah, and let's just play that one as well. So there we go.
Nice. Everyone's confirmed that you are in the right version because we've all got access to that as well now.
Thank you so much.
So you're okay. I think they've just recently added them all in, so you're okay.
Okay, that is good because it threw me for a moment because the version that is around for educators and for schools and whatever is slightly different for a number of different reasons, all of which are perfectly logical here. Liz, what I have for us next, and I'm glad that I've managed to recover the time that we lost at the beginning by cracking on a little bit. So I have something else for you.
Show me. I'm excited.
Well, I'm going to build this, right, because I think what I have for you next, let me just go back to the home screen so we can look at that for a second while we're here. I think what we have will change how they view Adobe Express for everyone. Even if they don't want to be a designer, this one thing, right, is going to change Express for everyone. So what I'm going to do is, and hopefully it'll bring them in and they'll just think, oh, now I want to design stuff now I've done that. Behold, Formy McForm.
I love that you actually called it that.
I did. Great Throppington, who have been on Adobe live streams, not Adobe Express streams. So this is Great Throppington's debut on Adobe Express streams. But they, like many other organisations, and this isn't just a UK thing, this is worldwide, they have people who work, Liz, and they just do stuff in applications like Microsoft Word. Yeah. And then because they want to drop it, so sometimes they just send you a Word document, which is useless if you don't have Microsoft Word on your phone, really, or you have to mess around to get it. And sometimes the rendering intent is different, so it looks different on your phone. A PDF is a more reliable way to deliver it. But what a lot of people don't know how to do is just take the Word document and say, "Boof, make me a PDF." That is all you need, people of the world. But it isn't. As the frequent visits to my studio from people who don't work here in my family, is a testament to. Can I just print this out? Yes. 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later or add into a period of time here afterwards, they say, can you just scan this for me and turn it into a PDF so I can send it back?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this?
I am familiar with
You've
this
got kids
dilemma,
in school, so you must do, right? Because schools send these things out as well and they say, send this form back to us. And so you're into that. And if you haven't got a scanner, it's round to Tony's. There you go. Well, I mean, not for you. That would be a bit of a hike.
That would be quite a trek to get a form sorted.
What we can do here in Express, pardon me, what we can do here in Express is we can go ahead. We can find Formy McForm PDF.
Yeah.
We can say, Formy McForm be opened by Express. We get a little preview. We can even navigate pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And select stuff. Formy McForm is complete. Open in editor. Now, all you need to do is go to text and it will add me a text in. So if I just do add my text, here it is. So what is my name? My name today, for the purposes of this, is Fenton Claypole. There you go. It's a well-known alias of mine. I can just resize that. Now let's zoom in so we can see this a bit more clearly, especially if you're watching on your phone.
I'd love it if you submit this form and you'd made all the text multicolored rainbow hairy.
Yeah, this will teach you to send me
an uneditable form.
Send me an uneditable form, absolutely. All right, so
this is the thing that is really cool about it is you can make your forms editable PDFs, but that requires the person who's created the form to have set it up that way. Whereas this way, they don't need to have done anything. You can just fill it in now.
That's it. I can fill it in. Then I can export it out at the other end. I think we both have a story somewhere about filling in or sending out PDFs from Express. Was there not one at one time? I think there was, wasn't there? But anyway, look at this. Please provide registration MUBA. I thought
this makes me feel better.
Well, no, but actually I can now help out those great people.
You can correct their form
by correcting their form.
That's like an even bigger bonus.
And just to add, because now you're not, so there's a couple of things here. By the way, if you haven't visited Express in a while, you'll notice that I'm typing directly onto the artwork here. I'm not going to one side of the screen and filling in a box to do it and have it populated from there. Not only that, I would like to highlight to Great Throppington, okay, that I've made this spelling correction for them.
Passive aggressive.
There you go.
Highlighting.
So I'm going to change the fill colour of that text to magenta, like so. So when they get it, they will look at it and think, oh no, we've been sending all these forms out that say provide registration MUBA.
Oh dear.
Who knew?
So good.
And of course, everything else I can now. Of course, I need to change the length of that line. Really, if I wanted to, I could do anything else I wanted to change with that line. But I could just go ahead, and each time I've done this, I don't need to go ahead and add a new text object. I can just hold down the Alt or Option key, drag that in like so. Now, it would be helpful if this was left aligned and not centered. So I've changed that. You'll notice this is another thing. In some applications, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, for instance, when you change the text alignment, because they kind of emanate from a point, really, it moves the text. So if you suddenly say centered, in fact, do you know what? The best way for me to explain this, Liz, if you'll indulge me just for a moment.
Of course, I will absolutely indulge you.
I love it. Thank you very much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just create the word alignment here in Illustrator, like so. Now, this is Illustrator calls this point text, which is very similar. Yeah. In fact, I don't know why I've got such a small artboard. Let's make it so everybody can see it properly. Let's just do that. Sorry, a couple of different changes. It's because can't even remember what I last made in that sort of document size. But anyway, let's go big or go home. There we are. Oh, wait a minute. I'm nearly home. It's just next door. It's just over the yard there, just there. Right. So now, here is my text, like so. That I think everybody can see that. Now, as I drag it along, you might see here, or even if I hover with it, look to the bottom of the A on the left-hand side, and you'll see there's a small mark just there. It's just here. In fact, it does appear as a small blue dot. Yeah. Now, that is the origin of that text. If I go ahead and click center aligned, the point doesn't change. The text does. And if I go right aligned, it's going to just...
Okay, got you.
Because that's the point it's emanating from. You're saying this is where you begin. Yeah, like so. And that's why I dropped it into Illustrator to do that, because it is some frustration to do it. But Adobe Express does not do that. I could say, right align this text.
And it just stays where it is. But
I can look there and say, hey, that's right aligned. Yeah, so nice and easy. So I could go ahead here, make my edit. So let's go blah, number salad, like that, like so. Click away from it so it's not targeted. Yeah, then Option key down, drag a copy like so. Hey ho, export it as a PDF. Yeah, from there. Right.
So good.
Get it out from there. Do it as a whatever. From there, or just change the format. Send it back with a small note attached that says, here's your form. Why don't you try making these fillable?
I've improved. Make your next form in Adobe Express.
I've also identified a typographic error, which I've highlighted in this copy.
Oliver said that you should put a grade on the top of the form. I've marked your form for you. It only gets
Oliver,
3 out of 10.
That is so funny. We're going to do it. We're going to do 8 out of 10. For that, let's make it look handwritten. Oh, there we go. That suggestion works really, really well.
Let's do that. It just knew what you needed. Make it red, obviously.
Or magenta.
Or magenta. Let's go with magenta.
Just before we started the stream, I was saying to Liz about how much I just really liked.
I know. So now everything's going to be magenta.
There we are. And that's it. And that's how
So
everybody, and even this spacing error just here, that's dreadful. Let's bring that down. Let's make a couple of other changes, but we can just change all of that stuff. It's so good, isn't it?
It's so good. And, if people don't have any other Adobe programs, they'll be able to do this in Adobe Express. So it's just a really accessible way of doing it really easily.
Now, to be honest, I've never tried this inside the mobile app, but I guess even if it's not there now, in the fullness of time, I would have thought it would be.
Yeah.
And that'll make it even better.
Life so much easier. Yeah,
but no,
absolutely.
That's the one Express thing that can save certainly every parent in the world who has to deal with forms.
Everybody, there's so many forms. There's so many people have mentioned it in the chat about Angus said that was his week last week, and someone else said that they were having to fill out forms, and that was exactly, they're so sick of printing them out and scanning them back in again. So it's such a good trick.
It is a good thing. And just to summarize what we did today, so we started out with the Photoshop document. Just here we had this nice ice cream and everything in it. We removed the background from that and introduced this new gradient. We changed the text up here. We gave it its own background and modified the opacity of that. And just messed around with that a little bit. And then we brought in something from layers. It's from our libraries. And you can see here it's a linked asset.
Link.
Yep, it's all there. And we modified that and then it updated inside of Photoshop. If I now go back to home and then just go back down to the bottom of the screen, this is where my projects are. We then went ahead and worked on this project. Okay, so we've got these at the top. If I show all of the projects here, we went and worked on this. We bought in and we saw how we could create text using the generative capabilities inside of Express. We animated this particular circle here, and then we animated the Express icon just there as well. So we got all of that good stuff in. And then finally, the thing to save all. At the end, we bought
Tony Harmer, saving the world with
one form
forms.
at a time.
Yeah.
The worst thing is, Liz, around about 2010, I used to be called the forms guy, and I wasn't very keen on it. And now I'm going to be the forms guy again. Oh, I'm gonna cry. That's it. And that's it. So we've done that. And those are all the things we worked on today in Adobe Express.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We, as I mentioned, are back. We've got 3 more weeks of this. We're going to be switching it around. So next week, I am going to be walking you through some very fun, branding stuff. So we're going to be looking at the updated libraries and brand kits. Also, some exciting collaboration tools. So me and Tony are going to be collaborating on a project, which will be fun. We'll see how that goes. And
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So thank you so much for joining us. Sorry we started a little bit late.
Yes.
But we will see you next Monday at 12 p.m. Just need to have a cough.
Yep.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Mondays. Thanks for joining us on Adobe Live.
Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye.